I mean, not a crazy concept. I'm just now talking through some shitty, horrible moves that I'm making while playing this Tetris game. I made a little cross of empty space on accident. Of recording time, this is around Easter, random fact, but that's crazy that I did that, and it bothers me oh so much. I should be talking about phone booth. I don't have a lot of time. Hello everybody, and welcome to another Blockbuster Reviews. If you don't know what that is, it is where I play a single game of chill marathon in Tetris Effect, and during the game I try to talk about a film and review it. I have until the blocks reach the top, or till I score 150 lines. Tentatively, the rule is if I get to 50 lines, that's when spoilers start. I also try to pick a level that is thematic with the movie itself. I have a feeling that this city one is probably going to be in a lot of these. So Phone Booth is a film directed by Joel Schumacher, which was a shock to me. I did not know that until I got to the end and the big title card that said Joel Schumacher, starring Colin Farrell and Forrest Whitaker and Kiefer Sutherland, and it was pretty rad. That is my initial statement on the matter. This is going to seem completely out of left field, but I'm a fan of the Saw franchise, and I got quite a bit of Saw feelings off of this, because the plot of the film, if you didn't know, is there is this, I would call him a douchebag. I think a douchebag is the appropriate way to describe him. Publicist named Stu. He is seen only lying to basically everybody on the phone constantly. There's a big theme of phones and phone calls. There's this VO in the beginning about phones in New York City. This was, of course, 2002, I believe the movie came out, and it was about how many public phones there still are, how many cell phones are out, which those numbers are very different now, I'm sure. But it's about a specific phone booth, one of the few phone booths, full glass phone booths left in the city, and how it was going to be the last use of the phone booth by this guy, who was Stu, who is a publicist, and they show him, and they let you know he's a douchebag right away, because he's calling all types of people, making promises, lying to each and every one of them to get his clients ahead, and mostly to get himself ahead. That's how those businesses work. They are working for you, because working for you means working for their commission, which is, I mean, not a crazy concept. I'm just now talking through some shitty, horrible moves that I'm making while playing this Tetris game. I made a little cross of empty space on accident. Of recording time, this is around Easter, random fact, but that's crazy that I did that, and it bothers me oh so much. I should be talking about phone booth. I don't have a lot of time. So, we'll get rid of that cross. So basically, this Stu character gets in the phone booth to call his squeeze on the side. Stu is married. You don't know that. You just know that he is married because of a ring. You don't know for sure that the woman he called is not his wife, but it becomes pretty clear it isn't when a very interesting voice comes over the phone. He's only referred to as the caller, at least if you watch the film in subtitles like I do, and he wants him, Stu, to stay on the line and listen to his commands. And of course Stu, thinks it's bullshit, it's a prank, and does what anybody would do. Starts asking about specific people in his life who could do such a thing. And then the guy proves that he's not fucking around. He knows personal details about Stu. He knows personal details about the booth that he's in and the people around him. But, Stu is kind of like thinking, okay, he's like a failed actor, somebody he had a beef with. He shouldn't be taken that seriously. And as I get to spoiler territory, boom. Turns out this guy has a sniper traced on him. I mean, that's not really a spoiler, that's a part of the story. He has a sniper on him, and it's a insane, absolutely insane, silenced sniper. Now, from what little I've learned about snipers and silencers, silencers are not completely silent, from what I've heard. You can do your best to muffle the sound of a gunshot, but you can't make it completely silent. So, watching this movie, it kind of, immediately fell apart for me, because it was kind of stupid. Anyway, I should have mentioned before this thing starts off, a pizza guy tried to deliver a pizza to that phone booth with the instructions that a dude would be in that phone booth to accept the pizza. And of course, our main character, to prove he's a dick, I guess the kick the cat moment, if you will, he treats the guy like shit for no reason. I mean, the dude is giving him a free pizza, and he acts like an asshole. And the dude on the phone lets him know he's going to basically pay for his sins. He refers to killings that have happened all over the city that are mysteries, including a child pornographer and a shady stockbroker who did some insider trading and screwed over a whole bunch of little guys, as he put it. Now, from what I understand, he only singled out Stu because Stu is a lying publicist, which, as far as I know, most publicists are probably liars. I mean, I don't want to shit on publicists out there, but your job is based on lies and celebrity, which is one big lie, so I don't really respect your profession. I don't want to have any fights with any publicists. I doubt any are watching right now, but while I do not like your profession, and while I do not enjoy what you do, and I don't accept it as a real profession, what am I fucking doing with this tower that I'm creating over here? What is my long-term plan? Of course, you guys are making money, and I'm talking about Tetris. But I wouldn't put you on the same level as child pornographers. I wouldn't even put you on the same level as insider trading. Like, those guys are real assholes. I have absolutely no sympathy for the ilk of child pornographers, and stockbrokers, I don't really have anything positive to say, but I do believe they deserve worse than just a publicist. I mean, we just have different conflicting ideologies of what's important in the world. I don't think that you're, like, evil or completely, well, you know, maybe I'm going back on what I said. All I'm going to say is I don't think that publicists are on the same level as child pornographers. And this cheating publicist was put on the same level as child pornographers by good old Kiefer Sutherland, which was kind of frustrating because they played up the reveal of Kiefer. I mean, I might as well do full spoilers. You might get out of this review without a complete explanation of what happens, because we're already right on our way. But he... once I heard his voice, I was like, oh, that's Kiefer Sutherland. Like, it's clearly Kiefer. And so when they revealed him, you're kind of like, okay, well, I mean, I know what Kiefer Sutherland looks like. Especially because they pull a Scooby-Doo moment where, I mean, it's kind of a big spoiler, but it was out in 2002. I mean, you should have seen it by now. It's on Hulu's for your watching enjoyment if you really are interested. But they figure out where this guy is through some quick detective work from Forrest Whitaker, the third best host of Twilight Zone. The second would go to Jordan Peele, and of course the first going to Rod Serling himself. He comes in, and he kind of figures out, okay, there's more than meets the eye. By the way, Stu gets accused of shooting a pimp because the guy watching him, the caller, shot a pimp when he was antagonizing Stu at the phone booth for not leaving, because, you know, his hoes need the phone for their business. So he was not going to let Stu off, and so the caller shot him. And the hookers accused Stu. And, you know, it's a big he said, she said. Anyway, Forrest got it figured out. He figures out kind of the mystery, and then they go to get him, and they make it seem like it's the pizza guy from before. But we know the pizza guy doesn't sound like Kiefer Sutherland. We know it's Kiefer. So they play this big reveal where it's like, Kiefer shows up and comments on his shoes, and you're like, that's the voice. And I was like, yeah, it's Kiefer Sutherland. I know it's Kiefer Sutherland. And it's coming to an end, so this whole setup will have not much of a payoff, but phone booth. It had twists and turns. It literally takes place in a phone booth, and they do this super cool, like, oh my gosh, multiple shots. So you do get the other sides of the story from the SWAT guys, from his wife, from his possible other lover. You get their perspective, as well as his. So it was a cool movie. I dug it. It took me forever to see it, but I dug it now that I've seen it. Anyway, I'm done talking about it. My voice is starting to go and my mouth is dry. So, have a good one.